Frith. Hope everybody's well. This week I've been studying the Hávamál and what it has to say regarding money. There's kind of a set theme that I get throughout. One, money is fickle. There's a couple of sayings which talk about how, you know, rich person and now they're dead at the door, or rich person and their sons are now beggars. There's the idea that money comes and goes. It's just the way it is. Going along with that, there's a couple of stanzas that talk about not hoarding it, to actually utilize it towards one's own well being and to giving to loved ones and friends and allies, and using it to enrich our lives and our community rather than, setting it aside and waiting for who knows what. And next thing we know, we're like that rich person. As our house is burning down, we're dead at the entrance. Um, and a couple other little themes that flow through is how money doesn't necessarily translate into wisdom, nor does it really ultimately define us as people, but rather our actions and our words and our thoughts. Those are the things that qualify us, that build our reputation, that actually has a lasting value. While money, it's just like, being that it comes and goes, it doesn't really have a defining quality of us. And there's actually a stanza that talks about that. There's no blame to be had for, some people are born in a family with wealth, while other people are, born poor, and that doesn't define us. That's not something that we should judge, but rather the deeds of the individual and how they interact with others. That's what is important. So, what I've gained from meditating on the Havamal is not that it's not that money in of itself is evil or good, right? It's just a thing that we seek to acquire, because it is beneficial. It does, like the saying, it doesn't buy happiness. Yeah, whatever. I agree with that. Happiness is not this objectivable thing that we can go and say, all right, I'll take 10 minutes of happiness. But at the same time, money enables us to acquire, uh, things that we enjoy, or to do things that we enjoy, or to build relationships by being able to give friends weapons, clothing, food, seeds, whatever it is. We're able to share these things and to build strong relationships, lasting relationships. And being that, even people that are old and don't have family and, no great deeds or anything, there's a stanza that talks about, at least, they have money so that they can do things that they want to do. So while money doesn't buy happiness, it's definitely beneficial in its acquisition, shall we say. And then one other little thing that I wanted to share in this video before I finish up is I believe it stands at 75, where it's talking about an individual that um, acquires money, or gets hooked up with someone, rather than an increasing wisdom, it actually increases arrogance. And that is, there's two actual stanzas that kind of like correlate how money and wisdom are not necessarily synonymous. 10 and 75. And 10, we're talking about how common sense and wisdom serve a person better in an unfamiliar area than money does. And so just to finish up, I'll give an example of I've known travelers that have come on the road, and they have a bunch of money, and they have um, a car and all the good stuff that you would want while traveling. And within a couple months they ended up losing it all because they didn't have the common sense, and ended up being used and abused by others on the road. you know versus someone that might not necessarily have a lot of money, but who has the common sense ends up, building good relationships and actually is in a position to increase their money because they know they're streetwise. So yeah, blessings. And if you want to learn more, I've posted on my Patreon page um, most of the stanzas that directly address money and wealth, and I've written up a little bit about it. And so yeah, be well and be blessed, and until next week. Frith.